Welcome to The Vault with Financial. This is a safe space where we talk all things life and money and no topics are off limits. Guten Morgen. I don't even know why I say morning because it's currently 1:24 when we're recording this. So
I just say good morning. It's like fresh.
yes.
Good morning.
New episode.
You have to sing it a little bit. Well, happy Thursday, everyone at home. Hope you're having an amazing week.
If you are watching online today, you'll see Lucy's got a very
Bold.
What's the word? Bold. T-shirt on. Do you want to tell the listeners what it says?
It says, reading is sexy.
And she just confided in us that she had it on a Pinterest board. So when the T-shirt, so when she saw it in the shop, she was like, that is for me.
Mm-hmm.
Was it in the budget?
Alex bought it for me.
So
Yes, it was. It was in our budget. It wasn't in yours.
Budget hack.
It's like Wham vibes, you know, like the big,
Yeah, choose love and all that stuff.
big capital letters and shouting, and I like it.
It's giving pajama top. This in like 3
It will
months,
be.
It will be a fake tan top and a pajama top.
But we don't have to see you in colour.
When it gets all crackly.
Yes,
Do you know
it
this
will.
bit?
It will do, because at some point you'll have,
Yeah.
That's a great future pajama top as well.
I'm excited
but
for
I
her.
wasn't getting that vibe.
She's got potential. I've got pajama tops that are like fake tan tops, just big t-shirts, the history that they hold. I've got Kavos.
Oh, really?
Kavos, like, what are they called? Like the
Booze cruise.
Yeah.
Pub crawl.
all of these
The rep
tops.
ones.
I've got
I am fucking napper.
yeah, literally. Like Harry Styles jog merch. Do you know when you get outside and it's like £5? I'm like, yeah, give me 10.
Take everything you have.
Yeah.
I remember taking my kids to watch like the Hot Wheels live, and all outside of the stadium they had like the flags and stuff, and I was like, we'll get them inside, it's fine. Literally like £5 outside, like 20 quid for a crap flag inside, and I was like, sorry, you're not having any. Sorry about that. Should have got them on the outside.
Yeah. Not in the budget.
Okay, so today's controversial money opinion is putting yourself last, as in parent or in a relationship, isn't budgeting, it's self-neglect.
Putting yourself last. Go on. What do you mean? Like, give me an example.
So I feel like we've spoken about it recently. When a couple splits up or when a couple gets divorced.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, it suddenly comes to the woman that at that point is like, oh my God, I've not been looking after myself. I've had a list of things that I've been wanting to do, but just not been a priority.
I've been seeing this, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I have seen a lot of female empowerment of people that have been single for a long, long time, but like looking after themselves and taking care of themselves. And to be clear, most of this isn't aesthetic, by the way. I'm not talking about like a post-relationship glow up where that is very welcome as well. If people want to feel better about themselves and look a different way, or like cut their hair or dye it or do whatever they want, I'm here for this as well. Like this like reinvention, something that sometimes we do feel a little bit lost, and we need that. But a lot of people are investing like in their health, or they're going cold water dipping, or they're going to get into yoga, or they might decide they're going to be veggie or vegan, like make a change that they think is good
Buy
for
the
them.
supplement that was probably like they've had a lot of symptoms for like the perimenopause or whatever, and they go, do you know what? I just put up with it. Like I just felt unwell for a very long time, and I'm not doing it anymore.
And no one said to me, let's use the example of a couple, like long-term relationship, been together years, and I've seen this multiple times in the past couple of years, actually multiple times. We've seen it where a long-term relationship has separated, and the woman has finally gone, actually, and this happened in our own family, wider family, dad, so, not mum and dad, just telling him that he's all right.
I'm like, what?
Wider family where someone special to us went for a big breakup, and she decorated a bedroom, and she said, I've wanted to do that for years. And she just never felt she could, whether there was some, I mean, listen, like in a relationship didn't work out. And I'm glad that she isn't in a place where she feels like she can't do something that she wants. So she couldn't have had a chat about it. And maybe she could have done, but just that, I've heard that exact example across multiple relationships where females come out of the relationship and gone, I'm going to look after my health. Like she could have been limping for years and finally gone, right, I'm actually going to see a doctor, but no one's ever said, do you think you should get yourself checked out? Like, do you think you should put yourself first? It's like, no, I'll suck it up and I'll get on with it.
Because life's busy and you look after everybody else, because that's what females tend to do. They'll just put themselves to the bottom of the list all the time.
Self-neglect.
Do you think it's a similar thing when, say, like your children move out of home and it's like, got all this time on my hands.
I think loads of people split up when that happens because it's the kids and the activities and the busy life that kind of keep you
divorce
going.
in 50s is massively
Because
up.
then you realise, you look at each other and you go, I don't even really like you anymore. I'm not talking from personal experience, by the way, but they say that happens
Over and over again.
The
I've
thing
heard that
kept you connected.
Kids held you together.
You never really had time to sit and chat because you were like taking your kids to football there and taking the kids on holiday and you were saving
and you
up
get
what
so
mortgage
used
should
to
we
it.
get and blah blah blah, and then suddenly you go, got nothing in common.
Yeah.
Like we literally have nothing in common.
Just been going through the motion.
Yeah.
And like I said, when people finally do something that they feel they couldn't do, you know, whether it, like I said, it is an appearance thing, it's a particular haircut, it's a, you know, redecoration. It might have been like something in the garden that you always wanted. Or it might have been a trip, like you always said, could we go here? You always said, but for whatever reason, you were happy not to put your foot down and say, no, I want it. You put yourself last, you go to the bottom, that people have a bit of eat, pray, love about it.
I was just about to say, it's giving eat, pray, love. Like she split up with a boyfriend and then she travelled the world and she found herself. Like
we are really lucky, our generation, because the boomers, people call me a boomer the other day.
Are we boomers?
No, nowhere
Okay,
near.
boomer.
I'm nothing against boomers. We've got a really good
But
boomer.
we're not boomers.
That's mum's generation. And,
Oh.
and I made a comment and she went, boomer. I said, I beg your pardon, which I sounded very much boomer-like.
I am a millennial.
I say that to my dad.
We were told
Okay, boomer.
What boomer? We were told that the world was going to end when it turned from 1999 to 2000. I
Yeah.
vividly remember everyone being like, hold on.
You could buy a millennium bug. You could actually buy a,
Oh, really?
a cuddly toy. Exactly. So millennial, she called me a boomer. I think the boomer generation, which is our parents' generation, were like, had to just suck it up, and definitely generations after that, like stay in relationships they weren't happy with, or the female, whether they were a mother or not, would constantly put themselves at the bottom of the list by default. Like a lot of patriarchy conversation comes out about like the default. You end up like just sucking up and getting on with everything else, and this is just the way things is. Our generation is one of the first where it is a lot more balanced and it's easier to challenge that balance. I think like, you know, our partners and husbands, if we have them, will have had a father figure that has acted a particular way. And it's really interesting, I think, to see the differences amongst our like friendship groups, family groups, where someone's had like a hands-on dad and a very active dad and someone that's shared some responsibilities, and not my mum will be listening to this going, oh, yeah, what did he do? Joke. But actually, mum worked really, really hard and used to go to America 1 week in 4. And our dad looked after us, would do the school drop-offs and pickups, and would, you know, make us whatever food we needed. And so like, we're not boys, but we have had that in our life. You know, I think you can see a big difference of men of our generation that are influenced one way or another. Either they had someone that wasn't very hands-on and they're like, I'm not going to be like that, or they've got a good relationship with their partner, which is from the off, we share things. And, you know, I'd like to think that because of what I think, mums still put themselves last a lot of the time. Women put themselves last a lot of the time. But when we're brave enough to do our hobbies and to do beauty that we want to do, or have that confidence, again, this comes back to money, being brave enough to have that budget and date night and say, do you know what? I'd really like to improve my diet, and I'd like to buy organic, or I'd like to
Get that gym class pass.
I'd
that's
like to go to the gym.
Makes me go because I buy 6 things and I have to use it 6 times.
Exactly. And you might, and the partner might go, you can just go for a run. It's like, no, but I want the pass. I want to see my friends. I want to go to the gym. I want to be accountability.
Piece, yeah.
But having that conversation then means you don't have like 20 years later, this resentment that might build up and go, do you know what? I have never done something for me. It's similar to trips. It's like a lot of people might not say, I'd like to go on a girls' trip, or I'd like to go with my friends or with my mum or something. You just kind of suck it up. And if they don't ask, then you don't ask. And then years later you go, do you know what? I've always wanted to go on a city break.
Yeah,
I've never
done
done one.
an annual trip with the girls.
You
Like, why didn't we
aced
do
it.
that?
Yeah.
And the other person might be sat there going, not caring at all
Yeah.
that
Do
you
it,
wanted
don't
to
do
go
it.
on the trip.
I'm relaxed.
And you've overthought it and thought, no, there's plenty of other things that as a family we should be spending money on. No.
I would like to think as well that, if we asked some of our boomer women who have gone through that, like, I would love the advice to the younger self. Maybe messaging, actually, that's a really good thing to message in. Like, if you're listening to this, like, you know, for any age that you are, someone's younger than you, what do you wish you'd done differently? Because to your point, you're sat there going, oh, I wish I could like paint this room, or I wish I could go to Paris if I was wanting to go to Paris. You never asked, you never made the plan, you never, fair play. If you get knocked down and go, no, what do you need that for? Then that's just more of an indication about, is there a 50-50? Is it like, there's not that conversation, but yeah, what would people say? I wonder.
I think as women, we just make an assumption that wouldn't be accepted.
Yeah.
We're the problem a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like, because you just automatically put yourself to the bottom of this list. And that is a societal thing. That's not something that's just been born out of nothing. Like, we've lived lives and seen, you know, parents and grandparents kind of see this like patriarchal figure. But times have changed. And I think this is the first generation whereby it's been challenged, the male role and the female role within the household, and making it more even and highlighting the gender pay gaps that we've got and the household like responsibilities that a female has over a male, and being the default parent, and nursery's always ringing the mum when the kid's ill at school. My school knows to ring the ill.
They know to ring my husband as well. Like, absolutely
I don't answer the phone. I know you do, but
what do you, because your mum's younger than our parents, but do you think what do you think she's compromised over the years for something that she would like to? Because like she's in her wellness era. Like, she's investing in her health. She's
always in a wellness era.
No, definitely not. I think my parents got divorced like, I'm going to say nearly 15 years ago. And I can't even think, like, they're such different people now.
Yeah.
And my mum is so like focused on herself, and it's so nice to see. It's nice for me to have that. Like, she's single and she just has herself to focus on. And it's nice to have that, not to look forward to, but as like an inspiration.
Role model.
Yeah, it's like
positive role model, yeah.
I don't just want to be like a girlfriend or a wife. Like, I am my own person. Like, if I have these interests, it doesn't need to be a shared interest. I can be interested in this, and this will get funded.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I want to do these things, I'm going to make them happen. I'm not going to be like reliant on someone else to have to fund them, or someone could take it away. If I want to be able to do that thing. And I also like, I don't know, like, I like to think that each other's independence in a relationship can help as well. Like, there's so many amazing things about having joint friends, joint interests, joint this, but also the time to, like, you know, even something simple as I want to take myself upstairs and I want to go read my book, and I don't need you all here, that I'm going doing that, or I'm going to go for a walk. I don't need you to come. I'm going to go, and like uneven budgets, you know, my beauty budget is higher than your beauty budget in the budget, but it doesn't mean to say that if you want to have skincare, fine, have it, but I really want this, and I don't have to compromise on it and not have it because either something's in my head or because you've sent a signal.
Yeah. Definitely important. Okay, first dilemma of the day. Should I buy my next car in cash or finance it? That's it. That's the dilemma. What's your answer?
Buy it in cash. Next.
Hey girls, love the podcast. I've been listening for around a year now. Since buying my first house at 22, I opened up a Monzo Flex account. I was stuck with repayments of around £300 every month for 2 years. Since I discovered you guys, I've paid off all of my debts and saved a healthy emergency fund of over a year's worth of expenses, and began investing in a stocks and shares ISA. My dilemma is I commute to work and my car is on its way out. I dabbled into looking at finance options, however, I just can't bring myself to pull the trigger. I think this is because I've always bought my cars in cash. So, should I A, take money out of my emergency fund, buy a car outright and sell my current car to top it up? B, put a huge deposit down to make the repayments under £100. This is what I would feel comfortable with. Or C, run my car into the ground and wait until it goes bang on me. My house is currently on the market, so I'm hesitant to finance anything and I don't want to mess up my additional borrowing.
So the house on the market sounds like she then wants to buy another one, like she wants to move up in house. Yeah, it really, really massively will impact the amount you can borrow. I mean, it's all about affordability. And if you were going to finance and you're going to finance anyway, then don't delay, because you always need to know that you can afford car and house. So what you don't want to do is buy a house based on the affordability of no car, buy the house, then go, right, I'm going to finance the car now, and suddenly your budget's stretched. And so I do, the banks and mortgage advisors are super good at affordability. But don't go backwards. Don't go backwards. She has a car. Run it into the ground, yes. Save up in the meantime and get it ready for when, not if, it's going to need something or when you're going to have to upgrade. But like, at least the next home you're going to buy is an asset that's going to go up in value. Cars go down in value and they're just not a representation of you and your financial well-being. They're like they're a status symbol or like a comfort symbol. Like the idea of financing means better and bigger, and what it actually means is you buy a car you can't afford. There's no reason why you couldn't save up to buy the same car in cash that you would finance.
But you wouldn't.
You just wouldn't. You always buy the more expensive one.
A year's expenses as a emergency fund is quite
Yeah, that's
high. So I would say, but it's whatever you're comfortable with. It's really subjective. I don't know if you're an only person living on your own, so you want that bigger buffer. Like I would
that's
understand,
true.
but maybe like you could compromise and pull it down to like a 9-month one and take 3 months of those expenses and put, if your car's about to go bang and you're like, it's pretty imminent. But yeah, please don't.
I definitely a fan of. She's gone straight to the finance. This is a very female thing, by the way, because I don't think we give a shit as much. But she's not mentioned the car.
no.
It's like she's already come up with about 100 a month. Like she's already done some research, but like, what is the car she wants? What's the car she wants? What's the make? How old is it? How many miles it has got on it? And most importantly, what's it going to cost? She's priced up the finance, but she's actually not priced up what it would cost to buy. And I think having a look at what I would like a car of around this amount of money, and like Holly said, at the right moment, switch it out and maybe use some emergency fund if you're struggling with your current
You've
one.
got a
Because that is
really
a bit of
healthy
an
one.
emergency.
You've got
Yeah,
a really
exactly. You're not
healthy
taking like
emergency fund.
key ones, but yeah, I don't do it.
Mm.
You've done so well. Do not go back. Do not fall trap and fall victim to
And Monzo Flex.
screw you, Monzo.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like anyone watching from Monzo, because I know that some of the big banks do watch this program.
We know.
They tell us.
You tell us, yeah.
Just that product needs looking at because so many
They're not gonna
people
look at it, they make so
get
much money off
sucked
it.
into it, like young people especially, which is the thing that drives me mad the most. Like it's their first brush with like taking on credit because it's just so easy to do.
Mm.
And
It's a pretty overdraft.
Yeah.
It's a glamorized overdraft. Like that's literally what it is. I know it's about like advancing, before you get that money. No. It's an overdraft that's been called Monzo Flex.
I get marketed so much of it.
Do
like,
you?
yeah.
Can you send them on? This is where I get
Yeah.
I want to know what they make. So they wouldn't publish it because they're not listed, but I'd be really interested to know the revenues that they make from Monzo Flex, but also how often they hammer it to their
Yeah.
customers.
A lot. Okay, community win time. After being inspired by the app and the podcast, I have spent the last few weeks getting my finances together, and I'm sitting back tonight with a feeling of calm. This week, I have opened a stocks and shares ISA and invested £500, unpaused my pension contributions. When I came back to work after maternity leave, I didn't get the flexibility I asked for, which meant I took a pay cut and then paused my pension contributions just whilst I got settled to being back, but that was 9 months ago. And finally, my husband and I sorted out our will. These things have been weighing on me in the back of my mind for months, so thank you to the podcast for giving me the kick up the butt I needed.
Amazing.
Winning at life. She must feel so much better.
Yeah.
Weight lifted off your shoulders.
But getting back on the investing train after pausing, it sounds very like passive and temporary. I'll pause. Can I just pause those? I just need to get my head sorted. I need money back. Like we've just had a baby. It's really expensive. I'm back to work. We'll pause them. 9 months later.
That's
9 months of contribution and growth that she's missed out on top of the maternity leave. Because in the maternity leave, her company would have been paying contributions, but she would have been paying them at a reduced rate. So she's already had X month mat leave, reduced pension contributions, and she came back and paused.
For another 9 months.
And did your partner pause his?
No, I'll add to the question point. I was just about to say, I love this win, but it's now turned into a dilemma for me, only because it's very personal to me because I went through something similar where I didn't realise that when I was on maternity leave that my contributions from my employer continued, but mine didn't. So I missed out on 9 months of my contributions into my pension pot, which is, as we know, compound interest and time the market, all those things. I would really like you to go back and work out whether you could ever make that up. Like, how could you model it and work out the missed contributions and try and make it up? Like, I know you just put £500 in the stocks and shares. Is it a shared one? Like, I know it's an individual, but are you seeing that as a couple thing? Could you?
Yeah, you don't get the tax from the government. It depends on salary sacrifice, obviously. Yeah. But if it's not a salary sacrifice pension, if they'd have put that 500 into a pension, they'd have got the tax top up.
Yeah. So would it be more beneficial for me maybe next month, instead of putting £500 in the stocks and shares, I should try and make up what you've missed, work out what you've missed on your both maternity leave and the pause that you've had, and maybe focus your efforts into that. But that is subjective. It is not financial advice.
It's like, I've got some notes.
Yes, because I love the win. So I'm like, amazing, you're back on the train. But
I love
could we maybe look at where we've missed out? It's just so savvy to like get that
I'm so glad you've shared that, because someone will be listening who's preparing for mat leave right now.
I might think
and they're going to listen and they're going to learn from your decisions that you now obviously highlight and trying to correct and trying to crack on with. They're going to learn from that. So when we get a dilemma about things like that, like same with the will, just getting that done, that when we were able to get like hundreds of you got wills, like it was just one of the best things earlier in the year when we kind of pushed them, and we'll continue to push them. Because you just get this peace of mind that all this stuff is sorted. We're going to dig into more topics on it. I might do some more unlocks on it, because like step families are really interesting dynamic, different, intergenerational stuff, what things you can put in place if like you're a bit worried about, I always do this, if I die and you remarry.
Yeah. It's a worry for people.
I don't want my children not getting, exactly. I don't want your future step, like Carl's like, what's that there? Sorry, what? And I'm like, your future stepwife's not having my children's.
Sharon's not having.
Her and her dog and her wicked daughter.
Laura's already given them names.
Oh,
where you move it, she's going to move you out of the village.
Yeah, in fact, it's over because I've already planned this to happen.
So annoyed at you, Carl. I've thought better of you.
Poor guy's just sat there like, what?
Carl's found his own business.
Yeah, he's having
football,
a great time. He's just gone yesterday. He didn't know. He wasn't listening. He was enjoying himself. But yeah, like I think we'll go into more of it, because it's fine if you have, a very straightforward situation, but there's lots of things that you can do to navigate what's quite difficult. So well done on doing that as well. Like, it's like tick, move on, next thing. And then for people listening, that the financial sacrifices that families make, but especially women tend to make around maternity, are not small, and they can have big consequences later. So well done for unpausing your pension contributions. If anyone's sat there, similar situation, like you might just be tight on money and you decided to pause them. It might not be a maternity thing. Unpause them. Like, just do it.
Didn't you?
I did. I opted out. So in fact, I didn't opt out. I just didn't opt in because it wasn't auto-enrollment when I started work. But I was living in city centre Manchester. I'd started my graduate job, and there was this, all I heard was, oh, do you want to pay pension contributions? And my response was, I'll do it when I'm older. Didn't know anything about compound interest, didn't know anything. Like, no one around me was like, well, that's a shit idea. And luckily, within about 9 months, I went on study journey and learned about it and went, what the hell have I done? So luckily, it was only a handful of months. But yeah, stupid, because I wanted more money, because I had to go shopping and wanted nice food and wanted nice drink and had a nice gym. So I had all literally my gym membership cost more than my contribution would have been. But we passed that story down to make sure that someone else doesn't do that. So great win, well done. And happy pod year anniversary. Well, you'll be over that now probably. So
if you'd like to tell us your win, head to the community in the app or email it to thevault@financial.com. Okay, final dilemma. Do I keep saving or do I go live my 20s? Hi ladies, I love the pod and have now listened to every single episode. I wonder if you could help me out. I'm 24 and have been freelancing in the film and TV industry for 3 years. While the industry can be unpredictable, I've been lucky to land consistent work. I earned 43k last tax year. That said, things like COVID and the writers-actors strikes have given me a real scarcity money mindset. I live fairly lean. I budget around £1,600 a month, but can survive on £1,300 for rent, bills, flexible spending. The rest goes into my sinking funds, my emergency fund, and my cash LISA. Cash LISA?
Yeah, your lifetime ISA could be cash or stocks and shares.
Right now, my net worth is around 25k. 13k in my cash LISA, 7.2k in my emergency fund, which is almost 6 months' expenses, 4k in my pension, 1k in sinking funds, and 630 in my stocks and shares ISA. I live in a low rent city and haven't spent loads, just a couple of holidays. But I've not done any proper travelling. My question is, what should I do next? Do I have permission to finally have some fun? I don't plan on buying a house for a few years, so I'm thinking of pausing my cash LISA contributions. I'd love to go travelling while still in my 20s. I'm also considering opening a stocks and shares LISA to keep getting my 1k government bonus, but invest it instead. Coast Fire also really interests me. The idea of sorting retirement early and letting compound interest do its thing. Being freelance makes me crave long-term security, but I also want to live my life. So, should I build my emergency fund to 12 months, focus on investing in my stocks and shares LISA and aim for Coast Fire, prioritise travel and experiences, or try to do a bit of everything? I'm just not sure what my next financial goal should be.
Ooh.
She's like a set one maths, this girl.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. She's literally like ticked all the boxes. I think it's a goal. Well done. And being obviously in the film and TV and media industry, it's so transient. I was so shocked at how, temporary contracts really are. Lots of people aren't employees. They work for themselves. They move around different jobs. Sometimes they're really exotic. Sometimes there's gaps. You just don't know necessarily when the next contract's coming in. So I'm forever asking them, like, what do you have an emergency fund? And what would you do if you didn't get a contract? And with them, whilst you might have like the Netflix and the Disneys and the Apples of the world, like funding stuff, local TV and national TV really is struggling. Like they've not got the budgets, because if you think about it, people aren't watching as much TV. So the advertising isn't there, which doesn't fund the new projects. And so I would also be nervous in that industry. Having said that, she's playing that industry well. She's understanding that you need emergency funds and she needs that stability. You're definitely trying to do too much at once, and so there will be a compromise. I'm going to jump straight to the travel thing. I would definitely go traveling.
100%.
I would definitely make that happen.
We just talked about like when you get older, like what regrets would you have? And I imagine a lot of people would be like, in your early 20s, like, I wish I'd have gone travelling. Before you get piled with responsibility, a mortgage, a family, a partner, like anything, it sounds like you're on your own. And what a fantastic situation you put yourself in. You sound very financially well. You're financially astute. You're not going to go and just spunk loads of money and then kind of like give up any sort of good habits that you've kind of created.
Yeah.
And you definitely, I said I could do a little bit of both, but I feel like you've got really good financial foundations at the moment. So I would say that you could go a little bit ham on maybe the travel budget, so you're not going into debt. And then when you come back, I would have a little sinking fund when you get back, because you need to hope that you're going to find a job the minute that you land and all that kind of stuff.
Well, her emergency fund will do that, but I think she definitely double counted, because I think there was a point where she said, so shall I stop putting into my LISA, but then I want a stocks and shares LISA so that it grows. You have to put money into stocks and shares LISA for it to grow. Yeah. Like, yes, it'll grow a little bit, but for the compound properly to work, you put money in, you've got money in, and together that produces a growth based on like the percentage growth and so on and so forth. And so you do have to keep contributing. I think there's a couple of things. I think if she wants to travel, this is time to travel. Yeah. This is the time. Like you said, not a partner sat waiting for you, not a mortgage, not such a good stable job, no children.
Can't possibly leave.
Amazing house. Maybe you might get an amazing rental property. You're like, I don't want to give up this property. You are just, this is the season of your life to travel. If you want to travel where it's kind of very free will based and doesn't need stupid amounts of money and stupid amounts of planning, you could probably do it on the cheap. So, and it's for a defined period of time. This is the same for if you were poorly for a period of time, or if you had a child for that maternity leave or whatever. So pick an amount of time, whether it's 6, 9, 12 months. And I really wouldn't push it past that, because then that's more turning into like the digital nomad lifestyle. Like most people couldn't travel for longer than 9, 12 months without then needing to earn money. So that's changing the dynamic. I'm not saying you don't get to 12 months and go, I'd quite like to live in Italy for a year. That's different. But I would say, how long do I want to travel for, and how much money do I need for that? And if that's what you want to do, I would pause everything and stack up cash for that, because it's a one-off. You are not going to be doing this all the time. And I'm telling you this because you say you really want to go traveling. If you're a bit, I fancy going traveling, then I wouldn't compromise the other stuff. Another money podcast would probably say to you, make sure that you keep investing, make sure you keep compounding. But what we know works really well is one thing at a time. And so set that goal and hit it as quickly as you can, because you need to save that before you can then start this year of traveling. So I would recommend that, because the alternative is to put money aside into a stocks and shares LISA and continue this like growth and compound for like, you know, coast fire.
Coast fire.
Yeah, it's like
compound interest.
Well, and it's, listen, she's absolutely right. The younger you are, the better.
Yeah.
But you can't travel in the way that you're wanting to easily later. Like there is an order to this. You can't have everything. You
What traveller?
Oh, she'd be awful. It'd be great for a bank balance. She'd come straight home. She'd have built a big
or
savings.
It'd be horrendous because I would never get there, because I'd be like, my sinking fund needs to be like 100 grand because I'm not flying on that plane. I'm not going on that bus. Like, when they do a race across the world, like I sit and watch it with our eldest Teddy, because he just loves it. And he's like, look, this looks great. I'm like, yeah, we're never doing that. Like, we'll live vicariously through these people that are on night buses in Thailand. I'm like, no. We are going to a coastal, like, family villa in Phuket. We are not slumming it in Bangkok.
Lydia, you're about to go on holiday. You're joining people that are travelling, aren't you?
Yeah.
What's the, like, do you have a pull to travel in the way that they're doing, or are you quite happy to jump on and do the what feels like a holiday bit?
I'm quite excited to just have it as a holiday, because I've been travelling after school, and it is like a very different, you're not like, you feel like you should feel like you're on holiday, but you are quite stressed about money the whole time, or like getting it. You are working out there and stuff, and I don't really feel that. Like, I think I'd rather work and then really enjoy it when I'm out there, rather than be doing the night buses and stuff. Horrific.
Yeah.
I've heard people do that where it's like sucks the joy out of it, because they've not saved up enough money, they've not planned efficiently. Like, they'll just like, I'll just pick up some bar and I'm there. So actually, the time that you should be enjoying it, like it's a holiday, you're getting cultural experiences. They're sending out CVs, like the pod in the street. They're going into bars, like trying to ask for bar work. They're going to the, Australia, like is famous for going to mining or going
farms,
to fruit, fruit
People,
farms.
I'm
and
so
stuff.
glad I did it when I was younger.
Yes,
though.
there's
Like,
time and a place.
But what, actually, to your point though, she's probably got options, which is, you say, this is my time to do it, I've not got another time, and I go for this period of time, and this is how much I need to save, and you've got a number. Some people do, especially with the work that she does have, she could do 3 months and then come back and then do 3 months next year.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I have seen people do that, and it's not, you don't have to work, you can really, really enjoy that time. But especially if you've got this, it is very much a transient freelance life, TV and film. It doesn't kill your career to say, you're not saying to your reliable, stable job, I'm going and I won't be back, or I'm having a sabbatical. Like, it is very normal. You come to the end of the contract, you just don't. Basically, it's really scary. They're like, "Oh, I've not applied for one yet, but I'll see what I get." And I'm like, "What?" And it's like, "Yeah," and one just appears, but it's just the way of the industry. So yeah, I feel like it's deciding if you want to do that thing, scratch that itch, because you will compromise on short-term investing unless you can fund both. So do the model, and if you can save up for your traveling while still deploying stuff into either a pension or a stocks and shares ISA, do it. But don't worry and don't overthink, because it's for a period of time and it's what you really want to do. It's when you don't do either, or you do one. You don't want to be like, have loads of investments and have not lived your life.
Yeah,
no,
like. Go and watch Eat, Pray, Love, and then come back to us.
Yes.
Okay?
But like, we don't want you to do the other thing, which is spend all your money on travel and not think about these things that you're thinking about. Like, we need to pull you back a little bit and let you like
the fact
enjoy.
that you've got this like really good foundation makes me think that like as soon as you get back from traveling, you're gonna get straight back into that again. But it would be nice for you to be able to still if you're really interested in investing that compound interest, to go hone in on that travel fund and then have a little bit.
The minute you filled that fund, you jump straight back over, and
you'll get there quickly.
I love that.
Because you're focusing on one thing. That's the beauty of this methodology. You focus on one thing, you get there quickly, and then you move on to the next.
It's we're very well travelled, but through holiday, and I'm like you, Holly. Like it's kind of a regret and kind of not. Like, I think I would have liked to have lived and worked somewhere else at some point. Like, but I would have gone city. I would not have. I would maybe somewhere that's accessible that I could hop around and travel. You know, when people have lived and worked in different countries, I'm always a little bit jealous. I'm like, oh, I think I would have liked that. But I also like the idea that the kind of financial independence that we're planning is the idea that there'll be a point in the next 10 years where we won't need to have a full-time job, and we'll have investments and we'll have different interests, and the children will be at an age where if we wanted to go with them or if we wanted to go without them, we're going to see a bit of the world as well. So if you're not in your 20s, hope is not lost, I'm sure. But you probably can appreciate once you're there, it's difficult. So everyone now that either has a mortgage, a stable job, you know, people in their family that are poorly, parents that need them, or children that are going,
Screaming.
go traveling.
Yeah.
Screaming at this
Do
podcast.
it and don't regret it, because you'll come back and you'll double down and catch up on that compound before you know it.
Yeah, we're not, like Laura said, any other finance podcast would be like,
Oh God,
terrible advice.
They definitely would have said, "Oh, that's so irresponsible. Don't travel," or like,
We've got more
"Don't eat when you travel."
effort mentality.
I like how we've mentioned Julia Roberts twice in this episode.
She
as well.
deserves it. She's a queen.
Do you know, I've never watched the film, but I know what.
Sorry, what?
I was like, but
Okay.
I know what it's about.
Okay, we've got a prescription at the end of this podcast.
Yeah,
And it's for
time.
Laura to go and watch Eat, Pray,
Eat,
Love.
Pray, Love. Okay,
I've not seen it either. Maybe she watched it.
Oh my God.
Lucy.
Oh my God.
I think there's a book as well. It was a book. There's a book
It
as
was
well.
a book.
It's like
always a book.
Apparently, there's a book as well.
I think they made a book out of it.
Okay,
it's like
we've got
3 different
homework.
movies in one, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's
Each
excellent.
country.
It's worth a watch.
Oh my God, it's so good.
We want.
I
feedback.
thought you
See if
would.
it's on the plane.
I thought you would have watched
I
it.
think,
Lydia.
I thought better of you, Lydia. I think you're gonna really like it, and it's got your vibe. And I definitely want to watch it. But like, she's a bit yogi in it, isn't she?
Yeah,
goes
is
to
she?
India.
Is it Thailand or Bali? She
Bali.
goes?
Bali. I've seen bits of it. I think
I'll
you'll really
definitely
like
watch
it.
I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's our homework. Okay, you play love.
Okay, that is all for this episode. The Vault is now locked. And just a quick disclaimer, The Vault is just a chat around life and money topics. We are not giving financial advice.